This is Sylvia Saber with Optv Global Headlines. Starting with the top international stories for the day. The Afghan government has launched airstrikes targeting the Taliban in the south as fighting for territorial control continued between both sides across the country. The United Nations and Human Rights Watch urged both sides to avoid causing civilian casualties as the fighting rages on. Two demonstrations were held outside the Indian embassy in capital of Belgium to mark the anniversary of the Black Day when India stripped the Indian-occupied Kashmir of its special status in 2019. Chairman of the International Forum for Justice Human Rights, JK, said that EU should use its good offices for the prevention of human rights violations in occupied Kashmir. South African leaders Mandla Mandela and Prince Lamini paid tribute to the people of Kashmir on Kashmir Exploitation Day. Mandla Mandela said that India should be ready to face the consequences of its crimes against humanity. The United States and European Union have called for an end to regime violence in Syria's Dara, where Bashar al-Assad's forces have been launching attacks this past week. Southwest Syria is seeing the worst and the deadliest violence since 2018, the statement said. The United States has urged Iran to return to talks on reviving a nuclear deal after the new president, Ibrahim Raisi, said that he would seek a diplomatic way to end sanctions. We hope that Iran seizes the opportunity now to advance diplomatic solutions, State Department spokesman Ned Price said. Push to impeach New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is gaining momentum after an independent inquiry said he had harassed multiple women. Majority of the state assembly favor impeachment proceedings which could lead to his removal. The Israel has carried out airstrikes on Lebanon for the first time in 7 years following a second day of rocket fire across the border. Lebanon condemned the strikes as an escalation that could mark a change of tactics by Israel while UN peacekeepers urged restraint. Up next, we have the national updates. 2 soldiers of Frontier Constabulary were martyred and 4 others injured in gun and bomb attacks in Khyber and South Waziristan tribal districts. Police believed the incident was an act of targeted killing and an investigation is underway. Prime Minister Imran Khan appreciated the efforts and sacrifices of the armed forces, police, intelligence agencies, civil armed forces, and other law enforcement organizations in meeting both internal and external challenges. The Chief of Army Staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, and Director General Inter-Services Intelligence, Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid, were present during the meeting. Prime Minister Imran Khan has called the Kashmir and Palestine issue one of the greatest injustices in history. While conversing with the delegation of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Human Rights Commission, Imran Khan urged the world and OIC to play their part in solving these problems. Former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's visa extension application to the United Kingdom has been rejected by the Home Office, but the visa remains valid. Nawaz Sharif has launched an appeal against the Home Office decision at the Immigration Tribunal, whose decision could take between 9 months to 2 years. Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid Ahmed said if former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif wanted to come back to Pakistan, the government would issue his passport in the next 24 hours. He added that Nawaz Sharif would face his court cases on his return to the country. Awami National Party's Central Committee member Malik Ubaidullah Kasi has been killed during abduction in Kuchlak area of Balochistan. According to Levi's official, the body was found from Saranan Tehsil in Balochistan, Pishan district. Up next, we have the health updates. A new study shows that Delta COVID-19 variant produced similar amounts of virus in vaccinated and non-vaccinated people if they get infected. High viral loads suggest an increased risk of transmission and raised concern that vaccinated people infected with Delta can transmit the virus, Director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said in a statement. Coronavirus cases continued to surge across Pakistan, with the country's active number of cases shooting to 79,992. This brings Pakistan's coronavirus positivity ratio to 8.18%. 67 people passed away from the disease, taking the total number of deaths to 23,702. Up next, we have the sports updates. Lionel Messi will end his 20-year career with Barcelona after the Argentine superstar and Spanish giants were unable to overcome economic and structural obstacles to a new deal. The Argentina footballer agreed a new deal on reduced wages with club 2 weeks later, but it was dependent on Barca selling players to afford his salary. New Zealand Cricket Board has announced first Pakistan tour in 18 years, the International Cricket Council said on its website. The tour is set to start on September 17. Belgium won a nerve-wracking shootout to claim gold in the men's Olympic hockey final against Australia at the Tokyo 2020 Games. Belgium men's team had never won an Olympic gold medal before. Up next, we have the entertainment updates. Pakistani actor Cobra Khan is spilling the beans on character development on becoming actual cadets for upcoming project titled Sinfe Ahan. Cobra further revealed that her, along with other actors including Sajal Ali, Saira Yusuf and Yumna Zaidi, will be performing duties as actual cadets as a part of their training. Pakistani model and actor Ejaz Aslam stars in supernatural thriller Future Imperfect. Aslam plays Zahid, a self-conflicted medical sales representative who finds a diary written in his own handwriting. Up next, we have the business updates. The total liquid foreign reserves held by the country stood at $24,853.2 million on 30th July 2021. Foreign reserves held by the State Bank of Pakistan are $17,846 million, while the net foreign reserves held by commercial banks are $7,007.2 million. Pakistan and Iran are agreed to enhance economic cooperation and regional trade through more routes. Chairman Senate is representing Pakistan at the swearing-in ceremony of the newly elected president of Iran, where the two leaders discussed in detail the integration of Pakistan-Iran relations, regional development, economic cooperation, and parliamentary ties. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. The US President Biden wants half of cars sold in the United States by 2030 to be zero-emission vehicles, the White House says. The three biggest US car makers have welcomed the target, though it is not legally binding. Agricultural pesticides sold to farmers ready mixed into cocktails can kill twice as many bees, according to an analysis of 90 studies. If a honeybee colony exposed to one pesticide that kills 10% of the bees, so a synergistic effect could produce 30 to 40% mortality. That's all from this bulletin. For more updates, do stay with us and keep watching OPTV Global.